Shall we rock and roll?
We can rock and roll.
Okay. Welcome. We'll call the Newman City Council and Redevelopment Agency meeting, regular meeting of October 13th to order, please. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready again. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing. Roberta?
Dear God, please grant us the wisdom to make good decisions for the people of Newman this evening. Please, God, bless Newman, all its citizens, and all the United States. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Tried to think of
Councilmember Kelly?
Present.
Davis?
that. Present.
Candia?
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Martina?
Present.
Mayor Case?
Present.
What to say, but you're fine.
Item 5, declaration of conflicts of interest. Seeing any, we'll go to item 6, ceremonial matters. See any? Go to item 7, items from the public, non-agenda items. Any member of the public wishing to address the council, now's the time to do that. Nobody storming the podium. Go to item 8, consent calendar. Item A, waive all readings of ordinances and resolutions except by title. B, approval of the warrants. C, approval of the minutes of the September 22, 2009 regular meeting. D, adopt resolution number 2009 next to number, rejecting the claim of Pat Mazzetti. Council direction?
I'll make a motion that we approve the consent calendar as is.
I second.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, thank you. Item 9, public hearings. A, public hearing on supplemental law enforcement services fund, otherwise known as SLEFs. SLEF.
Evening, Mr. Mayor and council members. This is an annual report that is good news that we bring to you. If we weren't discussing it, it would be bad news. This is the $100,000 that we received from the state for the what's commonly referred to as the COPS grant. It's already included in your budget. We anticipated receiving this, and all indications are that we will. We are required to have a public hearing, though, and approve a resolution that we will accept these funds and how we intend to spend those. So we'd ask at this time tonight that you would authorize that and approve the resolution accepting $100,000.
Questions of the chief before I open the public hearing? Okay, we'll open the public hearing on the supplemental law enforcement services fund. Anybody wish to address the council? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing, bring it back to council for direction.
I'll make a motion that we approve the public hearing on supplemental law enforcement services fund.
I second that motion.
Then a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, thank you. Item 10, regular business. IA, adopt resolution number 2009, next to number, a resolution approving the form and authorizing the execution and delivery of a purchase and sale agreement and related documents with respect to the sale of the seller's Proposition 1A receivable from the state, and directing and authorizing certain other actions in connection therewith.
Thank you, Mayor. Long title for such a simple, what we believe to be a simple decision. Originally, when the state of California enacted Prop 1A, which is where they borrow money for us from a number of years, which is 3 years, and then pay us back, we originally anticipated that we were not going to go ahead and securitize this, and there's a bond sale that's going to go forward, and we can get our money now, or we can wait and the state would pay you an interest rate. Well, it's funny how the state works. They charge you 3% for a loan, and they'll give you 2% interest on money they borrow from you. So at 2%, we believe it's in our best interest to take the money now. That doesn't even probably keep up with inflation, so we would actually be losing money. So with an approval tonight, we will participate in the bond sale. The good part of that is we're not responsible for any of the origination points, loans, any of the fees up front. We get our money up front, and that'll be distributed to us. So with that, we're recommending that we go ahead and proceed forward with the securitization of the Prop 1A funds and participate in the bond sale.
Sounds good. Any questions of Michael? Council direction?
I make a motion that we adopt the Resolution 9, 2009, a resolution approving the form of and authorizing the execution and delivery of a purchase and sale agreement and related documents with respect to the sale of the seller's Proposition 1A receivables from the state, and directing and authorizing certain other actions in connection therewith.
I second that.
A motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item B, approval of payment towards California Redevelopment Association Legal Defense Fund.
Thank you, Honorable Chair and members of the Redevelopment Agency. Before us, what we have tonight is a simple action. Staff believes, as you know, the state of California, just like our prior action, is looking to steal money from our redevelopment agency. At this tune, it's in excess of $400,000 over a 2-year period. In last year, April or May, of last year, the court ruled in favor of redevelopment agencies and said the state of California cannot take redevelopment monies, and that was because it was written into the code as a public health and safety issue, and it made other findings. But that did not deter the state from coming after these funds again. This year, the California Redevelopment Association Legal Defense Fund is asking all the redevelopment agencies to pitch in towards the legal effort, as there will, again, going to be a lawsuit. CRA will be retaining the same team of attorneys that were successful last year. So with that, Newman Redevelopment Agency is asked to contribute $140 towards this legal defense fund. And again, that $140 would be an effort to save over $400,000 in 2 years. So we believe it's a good investment on our money, and hopefully we believe you will as well. So with that, if you will authorize staff to move forward, we'll go ahead and make that payment.
Any questions of Michael? Council direction?
I make a motion that we approve the payment towards California Redevelopment Association Legal Defense Fund.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 11, items from District 5, Stanislaus County Supervisor, Jim DeMartini. Welcome, Jim.
Good evening, Mayor Kate and council members. I'm glad I wasn't late because I.
Keep that in mind there, Supervisor.
Well, I just like the way you conduct your meetings here. So I will be very brief. I just had two things. The Westside Healthcare Task Force will meet again in Gustine. We're now working on the essay contests with the schools for the older kids, and the drawings for our calendar with the younger ones. We do have a couple of interns, unpaid interns, that are helping us working within the schools to get this project done. We have secured some funding and some grants for the awards. There's $600 of it that came from the West Side Index, and we have other people that have contributed too. So that is going right on track. About a couple of weeks ago, I did have to go to Gustine to present them the plaque for their Biggest Loser contest. So there's always next year. So we'll try it again next year. But I will say that Gustine's sure been a good partner in this, though. I just, they're out of the county, and we've brought them in, and they've just been very cooperative and very good partner to have. So next meeting, October 22nd, and on the same day in the morning, there's a meeting of the Oristimba Flood Control Project in Sacramento. Public Works Director and I will be going down along with some county staff. Perhaps somebody from Newman would like to go. We'll carpool down.
I think our city manager and Garner and myself are all three going. So I think we're
Yeah.
going to meet you guys probably at 10th Street.
Yeah, I think we're going to meet about 8 o'clock,
Yeah.
the best I know. So this should be a productive meeting. We're trying to keep this project on track. It gets derailed from time to time, and then you put it back on the track, and then some issue comes up, and it stops again. But it is moving along now at a pretty steady clip, although, the financing part of it will be the next objective that we have to overcome. No, I think it's doable, but we do have to have some type of assessment district set up. But this meeting, excuse me, in Sacramento is not about an assessment district. It's about the cost-benefit ratios and what the project will be, whether or not we'll have a bypass channel or not, and the locally preferred options. So, important meeting coming up. So, with that, I'll try and keep you for your new record.
Jim, what's the date for the health task force meeting? Do you know how it down there?
22nd.
It's the 22nd. Okay.
Yeah, both meetings
Thank
are on the same day. The flood control project in Sacramento is in the morning and 22nd, and the task force meets in the evening about, I believe, 6:30 in Gustine, same day.
Excellent. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Jim. Items from the city manager?
Thank you, Mayor. Just letting council know and the rest of our residents, it is fall cleanup week, and that does take place through Saturday of this week. So make sure you get any of your unwanted items over to the Berlotti site on M Street and drop that off. And just kind of make the council aware, we are coming up on the holiday season. At this point in time, we're anticipating that we will follow the schedule that we've followed in the past years, which is the meeting before Thanksgiving, which is 11/24, November 24th. That's the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. We would not have a meeting. And also the meeting before Christmas, which is 12/22 this year, December 22nd, we would not have a meeting. So that leaves us approximately three meetings left for this calendar year. Tomorrow, I'll be traveling to Modesto. Our economic development bank application will be moving forward, and we'll be presenting that to the advisory committee, and then ultimately, hopefully, we'll get a positive recommendation to move that forward to the policy board for a decision and get that loan application. That's the $400,000 we're looking to borrow for the Plaza project that you recently, I believe, was at our last meeting, or maybe the one in September, asked staff to proceed forward with. So we'll be moving forward with that one. Jim already touched bases on the Orristimber Creek. That's 10/22. A lot of things going on that week. On Monday, October 19th in Merced, I believe it's 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., we'll have a CRA, and that's the California Redevelopment Association. We'll be doing a legislative briefing for staff and for any council members or redevelopment agency members that would like to attend. If you are available, I think it'd be very helpful and informative. So if you're interested in attending that, let me know. I know the mayor is going to be is already in town that day. He'll be attending as well. So again, 10/19. That's next Monday in Merced.
We're at one.
That's at their government building. Yeah, but I'll make sure we email you the 2222, I believe. Anyways, we'll get that exact address to you, Mayor. Stancog open house is on 10/21. That's a Wednesday. They have new digs in Modesto. It's above the Firkin and Fox, caddy corner from the Gallo Center and across the street from the courthouse, and that's upstairs. So that's open to all of you as a council. And then I believe you all received in your mail Rabobank. We'll be having a grand opening ceremony, and that's on 10/20. So, and that's again on a Tuesday in the evening here in town. So, and then lastly, just we'd like to throw it out every time. We continue to offer computer classes free of charge to any members of our community. Go to our website, cityofnewman.com, and you can get that schedule on there. There's a variety of classes that would be very helpful to you as a person, but not only, and also as a potential employee. There's Excel out there, there's Access, there's Microsoft Word, there's Internet, there's email, lots of different classes out there, and some of the classes are bilingual. So again, just want to make sure that the community understands that and takes advantage of that. And that is part of our community development block grant program that this council is elected to spend $10,000 for the second year in a row and be very successful with that. So,
Like, quick question. I don't know. Do you folks see that? I haven't noticed it advertised anywhere.
It's been in the paper.
Has it been in the paper then? Is it,
Just
yeah.
a small thing.
Would it be possible to, especially with all these people out of work today, that might, advance them a little bit, put it in the, our electric bill or our city bill?
We
Water
could probably,
bill?
yeah, we could look at touching,
Just a simple type notice that,
Yeah.
and especially with the bilingual, I think that
I think
would
we can
definitely
add
help.
it. It's about 15 or 20 cents a page to add something to
Oh, is
our-
it really?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's about 15 or 20 cents a page to add a second paper.
There's a place for a small note.
Yeah. We'll take a look at it. If we can get it in there, we
If you
will.
could, Mike, I'd appreciate it, yeah.
If we can, so. But we'll continue to promote it. I know the local newspaper is putting it in their weekly.
Nice.
When there's a class up there, we'll also talk to them maybe about possibly interviewing some people at a class coming up. Maybe that'll draw some
That would be
interest as
neat,
well.
too.
So
That's a good idea.
Dean tells me he's always looking for stories. There's a good success story right there.
Yeah.
He likes telling stories.
I went to some of those classes, and they were very small. Apparently, people didn't know, because
Okay.
the classes were really very small.
Okay. And the's room for about 20, I would say, council member?
Yes, or more.
Yeah, 20 or more. So again, we'll try to get that word out again, and we'll let Dr. Fox know, and then maybe he can get the word through the school district as well. Maybe there's some parents out there that need a little training to keep up with their kids. Another opportunity out there. So
The classes were excellent.
Yeah.
But as I said, there are very few people there.
right, and the class, if you have to take it from the vendor who we contract with, it's in the range of about $150, $200 class,
yeah.
each class. So,
Yeah.
and these are absolutely free. So there is some value to going to those.
But still no Apple.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
That's all I have, Mayor.
Thanks, Mike. Staff? Stephanie, Garner, Chief? Sergeant Richardson, you got anything to say?
He runs up. Relax.
Well, he's trying to beat a record.
I know he is.
Bob's probably a little, or Councilmember Martinez probably a little nervous to beat his streak.
Uh-oh.
No, I feel really good tonight.
Very good.
I'm pretty calm.
Couple things. If you didn't notice, it's been raining all day, and so we'll talk a little bit. We've had some localized flooding in the city. Public Works has been very busy keeping up with that. We had a couple close calls in the neighborhood around Amy Drive. It was starting to knock on their garage doors, but Public Works was quickly on top of that, and it's already receded to just about nothing. So. Varying weather reports that may continue throughout the night. Most of the problems related to the wind. It's not necessarily the amount of rain. It's the wind knocking down the leaves and the tree tree limbs, which is clogging a lot of the drains. So it's keeping Public Works very busy. But so far, we don't believe there's been any damage anywhere in the city. The Animal Control Clinic was held on Saturday. In contrast to our first one, which I think people were just starved for that service out here, where we were swamped and really overwhelmed on the first one. This one, our second one of the year, was very slow, less than 50% attendance in compared to the first one. We do have a very high compliance rate, though, in the city as far as licensing, so we don't believe that it's people just aren't coming out. We just believe that the program's successful, that most people are licensed, vaccinated, spayed or neutered, et cetera. Not the people, they're animals, of course. But so we don't believe it was because people are ignoring the issue. Couple quickly thing, the bicycle officer, our grant officer today was going to. He's been working, of course, but in training. Today was going to be his first day on a zone downtown. Of course, I mean he still worked, but he got rained out on the bicycle, of course. But he is out and about. Today was his first day solo, flying alone. So you'll start to see him in our business district and around our parks. Expect him to be very busy. Our community service officer is progressing, and should be on her own, hopefully in the next week or so. And that's all I have, unless you have any questions for me.
Thanks, Chief.
Question of the Chief?
Clarification on the bicycle officer. Now he will do this as a regular patrol.
This will be his sole responsibility. He'll work Tuesday through Fridays, and I would expect to see him on the bicycle probably 70%, somewhere around there. That's sort of our goal. And he'll be in the business district, so downtown, Nob Hill Shopping Center, Yancey's, etc., on our park areas. Part of the grant was we had to enhance community policing, because the grant comes from the Office of Community Oriented Policing. So certainly that's what he'll do. He spent a lot of today meeting business owners, providing his cell phone number, his card. He's going to be sort of there. That's his beat, I guess would be the best word that commonly people would associate that with. So he'll be very visible in the business area. We'll still have our other officers patrolling down the city. And that's not to say that he couldn't go off and help them, but his primary duty will be downtown issues, or excuse me, business district issues, Pioneer Park specifically. We probably won't get out to Sherman as much, but the library area and the library park, those areas we have some problems there sometimes as well. So he and our frequent customers in those areas will become very close, well acquainted with each other.
I think it's a great idea.
I think so. It's a lot of visibility. You'll see what's going on from a distance. It's amazing what the bike can sneak up on. That they see the black and white coming, and the beer goes in the trash can quickly, or it's hidden. So it should, I think, have a huge impact.
Excellent.
Thank you so much.
Great.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
Stephanie, anything? No? Garner?
Kind of give you a quick update on some of the projects that we've been working on. This is the Fresno T Street Sidewalk and Storm Drain project that we've been working on. This is them installing the storm drain pipe throughout the trench. They have a little stinger. They just don't need people to put it in the trench. They just do it automatically. So all the storm drain pipe has been installed, and they're currently working on getting the sidewalk form set and getting the base rock in, so they can, as soon as the rain subsides, they'll start pouring the sidewalk in that project. It's actually, if it wasn't for the rain, it'd probably be looking at completing this by the end of next week, but we might be delayed another week or so because of that. And Hill Park doesn't quite look like a park, but it's the beginnings of a park. We have this is the amphitheater mound, I believe, or I can't quite tell, but this is one of the mounds. We have two mounds out there. One's just an architectural feature mound, and then we have another one that's part of the amphitheater. So they've got the grading fairly well completed out there. This is the rough grade. The next phase of this is we have to deal with probably a change order regarding putting in some storm drainage for it. There wasn't any drainage anticipated with this project, but we've already got it kind of designed a little bit and constructed just to help for this rain event that was coming, so that it didn't go onto the property owner's site. So we're working on that part of it. And this is just another view of the same mounds. The drainage system we're looking at is along the property owner's fence line over there to keep the water from going all across to their properties. So we're going to put in some kind of a drain to keep that from happening. The next project we have, this project is actually completed now. This is the effluent storage basin project that we've been working on. Last council meeting, I believe it was approximately 95%, but now they've submitted for final payment on that. We're reviewing that and assessing it. They said they've completed their punch list items. Just as a view looking to the south of the project, the riprap is all in, the basin's been all graded, and they've checked all the grades to make sure that it meets the requirements of the plans. Here's another view. You can barely see the edge. Right here is the existing basin, which is, they're both work in conjunction with each other. So you can barely see the old one where the new one adjoins it. And this is an overall kind of view from one corner looking out across it. It's a pretty expansive 40-acre basin. So that, like I said, that project's complete, and probably the next time, here's the pump stations. The pumps aren't in, but we put in the structures itself, so when it comes time and we want to put in the pumps, all we have to do is pull the lid up, drop the pumps in place, bolt them together, and we can then start using force main pumping for the facility. So this, like I said, the project's complete. They did a very good job, but the contractor did, and so we'll be moving for final payment on that. They did submit for a change order for one part of the project for what they considered extra work, and we have denied that. And so the next phase may be that they may be submitting for a claim on that. We'll assess that and determine at that point.
They submitted a claim for additional work that they didn't ask to do?
Right.
They want to be
In
paid
a
for
nutshell,
it?
you kind of put it correct. They submitted for a
Say-
change order for some work after they've already completed that work.
Oh.
And the contract spec does not allow that. Change orders have to be approved ahead of time. We don't pay them for work that they've done
Typically,
without
that's the way it's done.
authorization.
Yeah.
And so I quoted that section on the meeting today with that, so we denied their change order.
Great.
So the ball's in their court on that one, and we'll be bringing that back, and I'll inform you how that goes. And that was all I had as far as updates on our projects. Little disheveled a little bit. I've been out in the weather too, kind of checking the streets and everything. And we did have a list put together by the police department that talks about all the shows the streets that we've had some issues with. Our Public Works Superintendent has followed up with that to see that the water is receding, and most of these streets have now have very little flooding, if any, that we have. So the police department was very nice in putting together their call list for us, so we go out and check them. And we're going to check them one more time. About 9 o'clock, we'll go back out and check them again. If the rain intensifies, the superintendent is here in town, and he'll be checking on those, as well our on-call person.
Did the street lights at 33 and Merced, did they get back on? I know they were off for a while, and I got a call the other night that they were still off, and I, quite honestly, I knew that they had been, but I didn't know that they were still not working. Do you know?
Last I heard, they weren't working, and that PG&E was working on getting those back in line. I seen some emails that went back and forth between my assistant Terry and their person that works on those, and it was more than just, they thought the lights were working. Actually, I take that back, themselves, and they found out they weren't in fact working, so they're back out working on those.
Okay.
So they're aware of that situation.
Great. Thanks.
And we're out. Trees, we're having some big issues with the trees because of the wind, like the police talked about. All we're doing today, all we did was went out and got those limbs that fell on the ground out of the way, out of the public right of way, so we wouldn't interfere with traffic. Tomorrow and the next day, though, we'll be going back through and picking up those limbs and cleaning the streets up for us.
Great.
So, if there's any questions you have,
Any
for me,
questions,
I'd be happy to
Garner?
answer them.
Just a comment, Gardner. You and your staff are to be commended for all the things that's going on in this town. All you have to do is drive around and take a look, and the activities are unbelievable. I mean, with the new park, with all the sidewalks going in, with 33. I mean, it's just, and it's great to see. I mean, you guys are doing a great job.
Well, thank you. I'll relay it to my staff, as
Yeah,
Councilmember Ted Kelly had expressed.
The town's
the same.
alive.
Yes,
Thank you.
we're very busy,
Yeah.
and my staff is running and burning a candle at both ends, but we're okay so far.
I like Lake Sherman, too. Lake Sherman's doing great out there.
Yeah.
Lake Sherman?
Have you seen Lake Sherman?
No. Is it
Oh,
really
you got to
today?
take a ride.
Oh, boy.
It's ponding.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a lot of water.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's quite a bit. I went by there about 3 o'clock this afternoon, and it was already ponding.
Yeah.
Yes, the system is maintaining, but as the storm gets any worse, the storm drain system will start surcharging and backing up into the city at that point. We're not there yet. That's why we're monitoring it, and it appears as though it may be going the opposite direction and receding, we hope. Our fingers crossed.
Great.
And we did go out and check out Oristemba. The police department did actually, went out and checked out Oristemba and looked at the creek, and I guess the assessment was that it's in really good shape right now.
Yeah.
But we got to wait and see when that pulse of water comes down about 12 hours from now.
12 hours.
Yeah, and we'll be out there. I'm sure the police department's going to be out assisting with that too, so. Okay?
Great. Thank you, Garner.
Mayor, Garner, will you just update him on 33 and what the progress is and maybe the schedule, just so the people in the community that are watching may hear that.
Yeah, Highway 33, Caltrans is working on not a reconstruction, but an overlay project on this. The project entails that they're going to go in and do all the grinding, which they've been doing, grinding the edges by the curb and gutters, taking all the striping off. As a result of that, they took out some of the traffic signal loops, detector loops. They knew they were going to do that. They didn't know that this one was going to short out on us that's Kern Street, but they're aware of that, and they're going to come out and fix that as well. The traffic signals on Highway 33 are put on now a timed system instead of a detector loops until they get those repaired. So the next phase is they'll come in and they'll repair the detector loops, and then they're going to come in with a rubberized asphalt and overlay 33 where they're doing this work, and it'll be north of town down to Yolo. They anticipate, given weather conditions as they are right now, completing this project and doing the bulk of the work, which is the overlay, about the first week or second week of November. It'll be fairly quick. Once they get the weather dried out enough, the overlay process will be fast. I've been in contact with the resident engineer for Caltrans and getting their schedule and getting their detour plans in place and ensuring that they are responsible to the citizens to ensure that they allow access across our highway, and they're really responsible about that. We do have it posted on our website for the contact, and the schedule, I believe, is on the website as well that they gave us, so we're trying to get the information out, and then I think there was an article in the newspaper regarding that as well. I think it's going to be really nice. We get the downtown plaza completed, we have the overlay for Highway 33 completed. It's going to be a real nice entry into the city.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be nice.
Yeah.
So,
Great.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Go to item 13, items from council members. Ted?
Excuse me. I just, like Bob, I wanted to reiterate that I told Gardner this. I had a tree a lovely tree problem again. This was a tree we loved. This thing had grown and no problems, and I looked out after eating breakfast this morning, and it was laying in my driveway. And this was a good tree. It's a shame. But so I called City Hall and just and talked to Becky, and Becky was kind enough to pass it on. But and I told her, I said, when in the afternoon when the guys have a chance, so I could at least get to the meeting tonight. And boy, within an hour they were out there and had picked up the tree and moved it out. And I mean, it's raining like heck. And this poor guy, and I was out there, not in my garage looking at him, but tell him, and there were some pieces there that I said, I'll pick those, I'll get those, and no problem. Went over, got those. They cleaned that thing up and put it in the little cul-de-sac area, and then in the afternoon it's still raining like heck, and they were back cutting it up, and I mean, you wouldn't know there was a tree there except for a cone. And fantastic, just made me proud to be part of Newman. They really did a beautiful job, and please pass that on to them. Thank you very, very much. Thanks.
Roberta?
I don't have a tree. I'm going to comment tonight.
Nick?
Nothing.
Bob?
Just to mention, I attended, there's 7 candidates running for the school board, and they had the Seropodist had a forum for them. And the only reason I bring it up because it was the best forum that I've gone to in this city. And it really gave all the candidates an opportunity to speak about themselves and speak about what they would bring to the table if they were elected. And it was excellent. The nice thing is that we got to listen to all the candidates, and at the end, we got cookies and juice. But it was excellent. And in the future, I would like to see this sort of this type of forum used for even council, people running for the council, or whatever office they might be running for, because it really gives the citizens an opportunity to listen to them. But anyway, I thank Seropodist for providing this forum, and that's all I have.
Thank you, Bob. I don't have anything to add tonight, so we'll adjourn to go to closed session.
Your record, Bob.